Welcome back to my channel. Now today we're going to talk about a car transmission. Now what's a transmission? Is a transmission a gearbox? Well, gearboxes are also known as transmissions. So in short, transmission is a gearbox or gearboxes. Because why? Is because they transmit the power from the engine to the wheels. Okay, so the transmission is a better term because not all transmissions actually have gearboxes. So the whole idea is that the transmissions transfer power from the engine to the wheels. Okay, so parts in a manual transmission. Now we're going to talk about gearboxes, parts in a manual transmission. We're not talking about automatic transmission here. Today we're going to talk about manual transmission. So what are the major parts in a manual transmission? What does that word manual means? It means it's not automated. So the major parts involved in a manual transmission are engine output shaft, also called the input shaft, counter shafts, outer output shaft, synchronizers, door clutches, and a clutch. Shafts have gears in them, which determines what torque and speed are transferred to the wheels. So in short, that's what the transmission is. Now I'm going to show you something before we proceed, and of course if you don't know what a gear is, I want to draw it here for you. Not a big deal. Let me just try to be very artistic here. I'm not very good in drawing, so I'm gonna try my level best to draw a gear. Oh man, what did I draw here? Crazy stuff. It's actually something that looks not like this. Come on, you can do better than this. So let's try this one. I want to show you. Come on, don't worry. As I say, be happy. You see, this a gear doesn't look exactly. If you go and look, see a gear physically, this is just a rough drawing, and I'm trying to demonstrate something to you. Yeah, let's assume these are two gears. This is a pinion gear because it's smaller. That's a big. This is a gear. Okay, so we call this pinion and gear. These are meshed here, so they make rotations here. Now there's something called gear ratio. You can see that these two things, this has a bigger circumference than this. So which one moves faster? These things we call RPM, rotation per minute. The thing that has smaller circumference moves faster than this. So for every single rotation of this can move maybe 2-3 times. Okay, this moves faster than this because of the circumference is shorter. Like let's say if this is 2 radius, it does a circumference of 2 radius. This probably will have a circumference of around, radius of around 6 to 2. And what will this be? If you divide 6 divide by 2, you get 3:1 ratio. You get 3:1 ratio, which means for every one single rotation of this one, which is a pinion, will rotate 3 times. Okay, so that's what we call gear ratio, and we're going there. So let me see, just before we proceed, whether there's something else you have to know before you go to the gear ratio. So it works now. The manual transmission works on the principle of gear ratio, just what I've shown you. Gear 1, gear 2. Let's call this gear 1 and call this one gear 2. Gear 1, gear 2. The bigger one is 1, 2. Okay, now they are moving. So what's the gear ratio? Would be just what I've shown you. You have to divide it that way, and now there is a formula for it. N1 over N2 is equal to T2 over T1. T means the number of feet, N means the speed. There is a formula for this. Okay, so let me see. I can use my hand to do this. Today I'm very excited to show you this gear ratio. It's mathematical. N1, whatever that is, N2 is equal to T2. We're gonna know in a minute, just in a minute, what this means. Okay, and T stands for number of teeth. Means this one, teeth. The number of teeth. Let me see. Number of teeth over N, which stands for speed. N stands for speed. So M stands for speed, T stands for number of teeth. So this stands for number of teeth, this stands for speed, and this is how you find the gear ratio. That's N1 over N2 is equal to T2 over T1. Now what is T2, by the way? Oh, come on. This is T1, not T2. Number of teeth, and the T stands for number of teeth, and N stands for the speed. So you can determine from that thing I showed you here, the ratio, to work out this. I'm going to show you the transmission itself, which I've drawn the rough sketches, and I don't think I will draw it because it's going to take a lot of time to do that, but I've done this in a piece of paper, and I'll try to show you. You don't have to see you can see, power is coming from here. The engine is lying there, and the shaft is coming from the engine. That's the crankshaft. So the crankshaft shaft itself comes to the transmission. Here we have the input, okay, and you see the gears are meshed here. So the power travels this way up to this point and goes down. I'm trying to see how the arrows are, and goes this way, and then goes up, and then goes output. So it comes from here, goes there, then goes up, then goes out. Here gears are meshed, but this thing shifter is there. We shift these gears, meshes them differently because it's not one gear. They're up to 5 gears. In normal cars or in normal vehicles, there's gear 1, gear 2, gear 3, and this is connected to the speed at which the vehicle moves. So this gears transmission looks like this. It's just gears. It's a rough drawing which shows you this. We have input and output there, and this we have counter shaft also. This is a power flow. That's how power flows. So if you had to open a practical, real physical manual transmission, you'll see these arrangements there. So I've told you what are the parts in manual transmission. We have the engine input, which I've just shown you. The input comes from here, and then we have what? The input, then we have the output, also called input shaft, input out shaft. We have counter shaft. Now output shaft synchronizes, dog latches and all that, just I told you a minute ago. And this determines what torque a speed or transferred the wheels. Yeah. So it determines the speed that is transferred to the wheels. And man is very creative. He thought so all these things. You're a wonderful creature. You have exceptional brain to think all this. to make this thing. So I've told you what's the now let's see what's the definition. Okay, I told you the pinion is turning at 3 times the speed of gear, that one I've shown you. So definition of a pinion gear: when meshing pairs of gears, the smaller gear is called a pinion gear, what I just shown you. Also, it refers to the cylindrical gear that meshes with a rack in a rack, and a pinion mechanism which transforms rotational motion to linear motion. Actually, in a vehicle we have the steering wheel, and you sit in a vehicle, there's a center console, called it center console. Now you have the the steering wheel. When you steer it, it's a rod that goes down, passes through a motor which controls also the steering wheel. When, for example, when you're putting in the key, I'm not a driver myself, I just have that knowledge. Then it goes to something called a rack. Now here the rack is what they are referring to. It has also something like a pinion. It refers to the cylindrical gear that meshes with the rack. In a rack, and the pinion mechanism which transforms rotational motion to linear motion. So from the rack, it goes to the inner tie rod, outer tie rod, through the chassis to the hub, which connects from the one shaft, goes to the transmission. Then it goes to the flywheel, the clutch, yeah, ball bearing. That's the hub now. Deep right down to up to the brake calipers, So we're not talking of front suspension, for example. We have the strut tower, upper control arm and lower control arm, and there's a shaft that goes the wheels to the transmission. Now this is a shaft that's being controlled which torque. So for example, when a vehicle is going uphill, when a vehicle is going uphill, oh man, I have to get this duster. This is my favorite duster. It used to be a piece of cloth. Okay, say when a vehicle is climbing uphill, let's say this is a car. I'm not good in drawing, guys. I'm going to do my best. This looks like a toy, right? And Mr. James or Peter is sitting somewhere here inside the car and is driving this thing. It's going up here. You can see that the what do you call the gradient. You have done calculus, you know what this means, how to find the slope. It's going up like this. The torque here is what we call torque. You require more torque or less torque. When do you require more torque or less torque? I think you require more torque when you are going uphill. I mean, you need more power to climb a hill and less power to go downhill. This is a vehicle, for example, going up the hill. Let's assume this is a hill. It's a high landscape, a mountain or whatever. This is a hill. It's going like the road is going like this. So when do you require more torque? Is it going this way or going this way? Homework for you. So the gears, actually what the gears are metals. You can make the gears. They are made. Yeah, they are cast or they are machined according to the size and qualities. We're not going to talk about the gears in that respect. So that's how the manual transmission works. I don't think there's anything that I've not told you about manual transmission in this short video. Yeah, It's just simply gears, and but there are others transmission word which do not have gears. I think they might be referring to automatic transmission here, because otherwise if it's manual, I think that should have gears. I'm not sure, I'm very sure about that. I'm just saying. Anything? No. I think that's all you need to know about how manual transmission works. And manual transmission is actually more preferred than automatic, because this is something you control. It's not automated, so it's more reliable, more converted, there's more torque, efficiency is there, and that's why even up to now manual transmission have not been replaced entirely by automatic transmission, which works on quite different mechanism. Now this is what you find in a car, in a vehicle. Yeah, gears, shifter, gear 1, gear 2. You see the driver is moving some road there where he's sitting. He's changing the gears. And there's also reverse gear. Reverse means going reverse. There are details about this, quite detailed, but in summary, nutshell, what I've told is the most important thing that you have to know about transmission, manual transmission in a vehicle. It just controls the engine output, so that what goes through the differential. Yeah, you know what's the differential. So there are also other gears, like, you know, the pinion in it. I don't know what there's a really difference between differential. We have the spider gear, outer gear, and the normal gears, the way they turn. But that's also homework for you. We'll do about the differential later, when I found out more about the differential. Okay guys, thanks for watching. This video was a brief video actually, and for those who are interested to know how the manual transmission works, this is the way it works. Please stay tuned to my channel, subscribe, like, share, and comment. Yeah, we all travel in cars, so you should have some interest to know what is really lying there when the driver is busy moving a shifter there. What is he actually doing? Okay. Yeah man, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.